Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this session. And in this session, we are going to look into the last two lab programs, lab program number 9 and lab program number 10. What is the lab program number 9? Write a PHP program named states.py, that is the code that you want to store, that declares a variable states with value Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, Massachusetts, Kansas. So we are going to have an variable, it's an array. So we are going to have an array with these values. These are the names of the states in US, Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, Massachusetts, and Kansas. Write a PHP program that does the following. Okay, so PHP program that does the following. First one is A, search for the word in a variable states that ends with the XAS. Store this word in element 0 of the list named state list. So we have to search. So regular expression we are going to use. I hope you remember the regular expression using which we are going to search. We are going to search the state which is ends with the XAS. So you can make out XAS is Texas. Store that word in the 0th element. So we are going to have a state list new array, and at 0th position we are going to have Texas. Search for word B, search for word in states that begin with K and ends in S. So begins with K and ends in S, that is Kansas. That we are going to store it in the next location. Perform case sensitive comparison. Note passing re.ias as a second parameter to method compile performs a case sensitive comparison. So this is a regular expression. We didn't use that. So this is an object, regular expression object. Store this word element in the first one of states list. So it would be at the location with a key value of 1. Similarly, third C, search for the word states that begin with M and ends with S. So begins with M and ends with S. That is the only we have begins with M but ends with I. But this is the right one which ends with S. So Massachusetts, we are going to store it in the element with key 2. Then search for a word that ends in A. Okay? If you see Alabama, that is the only state that ends with the A, and we are going to store that in the key with the value 3. So that is the thing. So we are going to display. This is the program we have to write. htdocs program number 9 underscore states.php. This is the program I have. So this is the beginning of the PHP code, beginning of the PHP, and end of the PHP. This is the ending of the PHP code. Very simple program. Here first what I have done is this dollar states. If you remember how we can create an array, there are multiple ways of doing that. We can use the array function, array inside the bracket. We can give the set of values separated by the comma. That is one way of doing it. Then the other way is like you can convert from a string into an array. So that is the explode method. So that is what being done here. Here we have this particular string dollar states. It's a variable, PHP variable. It is assigned with this string. Okay, this string is having all the 5 state names separated by space. You can see it is separated by the space. Now dollar states array is equal to empty square bracket. What it will do is it will create an array, empty array. Then dollar states 1, this is another variable. Dollar states 1 is equal to explode. Explode is the function. Explode is the function what it will do is it will convert a string into an array separated by whatever the character you are given. For example, this is the string we are having. We are passing it to the explode function, and we are passing the space as the character. So wherever there is a space, it will make it as it will explode at that particular space into an element. So I will be having Mississippi one element, Alabama one element, Texas, Massachusetts, and Kansas, five elements stored in this array as five different elements. And by default, the keys will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the key that will be assigned to these values. Echo, we know what is the echo. It will output this particular string to the browser. What it will output to the browser, original array, and there is a break. So before we go into the code, let me show you the output. For that, I have to start the Apache server. Click on Apache. Okay, status is running now. Open the local host. It will show the dashboard, and then you give the program name. Localhost / program9 underscore states dot php original array. This is the output from this echo original array break. So it will display this text and break. It will come to next line for each. So we are going to iterate through this particular array, which has five elements. We are going to iterate through each of the element. For each is for iterating through the associative array. Dollar states one as a dollar I. This is the key and the value map. Dollar I is the key, then arrow dollar value. This will have the key, I will have the key, and value will have the actual value that is stored. Now print, I told you it is similar to the echo. It will print whatever is in the parenthesis inside the string that will be given as an output to the browser. What we have here is a states square bracket dollar I. Now dollar I will get evaluated. Initially dollar I is 0, that is evaluated to 0 is equal to dollar value, and we have the break. So this dollar value is at first position. We have Mississippi. This value will be replaced by the value Mississippi value. Now you can see the beauty here. The whole complete this thing is inside the double quotes. Unlike other languages, where if you put anything inside the double quotes, everything will be treated as a string. Now this in PHP, even though it has treated it as a string, but it identifies the variables inside. Okay, so dollar I is the variable, PHP variable. What it is doing is it is replacing with its actual value and taking rest other things as a string. So it is evaluating dollar I, and it is evaluating dollar value. Dollar I is evaluated to 0, dollar value is evaluated to Mississippi. Then it will go for the next one, Alabama. The key would be 1, and value would be Alabama 1, Alabama 2, Texas, and so on. So this for loop will display this particular output. Then now what we have to do, we have to carry out whatever the task they have given as a B, C, D. First we have to search for the word that ends with the XAS. Now for the regular expression, I hope you remember the regular expression, or we can just take a quick look at the regular expressions. Just you can say Google. I would say regular expression. You can say cheat sheet. If you are already aware of that, a cheat sheet should be sufficient. You can use any site. I'm going to use this regex.com. this is okay. Regular expression, syntax, cheat sheet, anything you can use. Just okay. So period or the dot symbol, it matches with any character that is any character except the white spaces. And then these are the backslash d matches any digit. This does not matches any character. W, it matches any alphanumeric. It matches character that is not a word character. Okay. Then backslash s, whatever is important that we have used in the code, I will just specify that. Okay. So this is the caret sign beginning with. So it says matches the beginning of the input. So this is the caret sign that we are going to use. So this is beginning and this is end, because our statement has some of the things which begins with certain character, ends with certain character. Those things are required. So I need this caret means it begins with that particular character and ends with dollar is matches the end of input. That is useful. Then these are the groups. If you know, like if you want to compare XYZ, if you want to match with XYZ, you can include that like this. If you want to include the range A to C, means ABC. If you say A to Z, it will include all the lowercase letters, so that you can have it as a comparison if required. Quantifiers. Okay, quantifiers, whenever we have asterisk will tell 0 or more occurrences, plus will tell 1 or more. At least there should be one occurrence, okay, of whatever the character you are saying. If you say dot asterisk, dot asterisk meaning is what? Any character. Dot represents any character except the white spaces, either 0 occurrences or multiple occurrences. If you say dot plus, at least there should be one occurrence of the any character, okay, one or more. So other useful things. Okay, okay, that much is sufficient. We can look into the code and we can understand the code easily. Now, for identifying the patterns they have asked us to recognize, we have to iterate through all the values again. Now, states one is what? It is an array. Okay, this array contains all these values with starting location of 0, ending location of 4. Then each of those values we will run our patterns. If it passes our patterns, we will save that particular value into a new array. That is, states array is an empty array. I'm going to store that set according to the given problem statement. Okay, first for the first value, what is the first value? I have a Mississippi. Then it will come here if preg match. So what it will do is it will match the regular expression. What is the regular expression? We have inside the double quotes, we have escape sequence used. So XAS dollar meaning is what? The pattern which ends with a dollar. So here, if the pattern ends with a dollar, then it will give a true result. Otherwise, it will give a false result. So Mississippi, does it ending with XAS? No. So it won't come here. Then again, preg match. This is the pattern I am giving. You can see here I have a caret sign. What is the caret? Beginning with the character K. Okay. So the whatever the word that is given, it should begin with the letter K. After that, dot. Okay, period or the dot. Dot represents any character except white spaces, and asterisk. What is the dot asterisk represents any characters. Okay, there can be 0 occurrences or more occurrences, and S dollar. What is the dollar? It should end with a character S. Okay. If this pattern matches for the given word, then it will return a true and it will enter inside. But the given value is Mississippi, so it won't enter here. Then next it will go to the next. If preg match, this is the pattern, begins, caret M means begins with M. After that, any sequence of sorry, not any sequence, any characters, 0 or many occurrences ending with S dollar. So Mississippi, yes, it begins with M. After that, n number of character ends with I, but I want ends with S, so it doesn't go here. It will come to the next. If preg underscore match is equal to, you can say here, what I have is a and the dollar. What is the dollar? Dollar represents ending with the letter A. Does Mississippi ends with the letter A? No. So it won't get into any of the true blocks. So it will go for the next. For each, it will fetch the next value, that is Alabama. Alabama, this pattern doesn't match, this doesn't match, this doesn't match. If it comes here ending with A, yes, Alabama ends with A. At position number 3, we store the Alabama. So you can see the problem statement. Search for the states that ends in A, and it should be placed at the 3, means last position of the list. Now at the last position, we have the Alabama. Then we after this we move to the next. Next is Texas. When it comes to this, if pragma ends with XAS, yes, Texas ends with XAS dollar, so it will come inside. At 0th location, I am going to store Texas. That is what is the requirement. Search for the word which ends with XAS and move it to the element 0. So element 0, I have Texas. Then all this condition would be false. It will go for the next value, Massachusetts. This is false, this is false. See, Massachusetts, it starts with M and ends with S. So S dollar means ends with S. True. At the second location, Massachusetts will go. You can see at the second position, M starts with, begins with M, ends with the S. That will go to the second. And the last one is the Kansas. Kansas, this condition is not true. Here, this will be true because it starts, caret begins with K. Any characters in between 0 or more ends with S dollar. So it is true. At the first location, Kansas will come. Now I have an array with the proper values at the proper locations. Now I will say K sort. The K sort will sort all these values according to the key, and it will display. Then echo resultant array. That is what you will see it on the. Okay, so this is the array, resultant array, that is the text. After that, you are looping through all the elements for each dollar states array. You can see this is the dollar states array as array as a key and a value pair, right? This is a key, arrow, value pair. I am displaying print states dollar array. Dollar array will be having value of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, and value will be having according to this set. Okay, that is how we display states: 0 Texas, 1 Kansas, 2 Massachusetts, 3 Alabama, as per the problem statement. So this is very small program. Next we will see the next program. Write a PHP program to sort student records which are stored in a database using selection sort. So what we have to write? We have to write a PHP program. We have to sort the student records. So we have to do the sorting. Which sorting method you have to use? Selection sort. And where are the records we are going to get? The records are in the database. So in this particular example, I have used MySQL. Records are in the database. It is going to fetch. Once it fetches the records, it is going to run the sorting algorithm. After the sorting, it will display it onto the browser. That is the program. htdocs program number 10. First I will show you the output and then we will discuss about the program. Localhost, then I will say program 10 underscore selection sort dot php. Okay, so for this we need the database. Make sure you turn on the database. MySQL. I'm starting the database. Database has started. I will refresh the page. Okay, you can say before sorting. So this is how the records are randomly, and after sorting I'm displaying it in the order. So first this is how the output looks like. We will see the source code. This is the HTML document, and inside that I have the body, and then I have the CSS style. CSS style, this is for the table. Whatever the structure you are going to say, definitely you know this is a table. This is a table that we have, and for that table, this is the styling that is used. Table comma td comma th for header, for the data cells, as well as the table we are going to use these properties. Border 1 pixel solid black, you can see border 1 solid black, width 33%, so it is 33% of the parent window. Then text hyphen align center, all these texts are aligned in the center. Border hyphen collapse. So this property will make to show the this there is no separation between the TD cell and the actual table. Everything looks like a one common table. Then background color light blue. Then for table I have a additional margin auto. So it will auto means automatically it will use the space, and it will center itself in the middle. That is the style that is I'm going to use. Now I have to make a database connection because the records are in the database. For making a database connection, I need the server name where the database is running. That server name is required, and most of the time it would be like a local host. We will not be connecting to any other different server where the database is present. Everything will be installing on our laptop. Therefore server name is localhost, and username, I have created the username called as a web user, and I have created the password, given the password as web user, and this is the database I have created, web lab. For all these steps, we will not discuss in today's session, but definitely I have a video, earlier video, that I will give it to post it in your classroom, which will explain how to create the database instance, how to create the user, okay, what are the different permissions we have to give. All those things are discussed in detail. For here, in brief, I will show you how to access the database and how to create the database instance. Regular expression. Go to the localhost dashboard. You will see phpMyAdmin. Click on that. Once you click on that, you are going to see the UI where you can interact with you can do some of the database operations here. Everything is like based on this UI. Here, if you want to create a new instance, okay, you can see here new instance. You click on this. Database name you are going to give. So all this information, most of it you can choose it as a default, and once everything is done, you can say create. It will create a database instance. I'm not going to create it. I have already created a database called as web lab. Okay, inside, once you create the database, then you can create the new table, okay, by clicking on the table. Okay, let me click on that. Okay, you can see here the you specify the table name. Okay. Already student is already created by me. If you are creating for the first time, you have to look into that. You give the name, then you are going to give the actual columns. How many columns are going to be there in that table? What are their data types? All those information you are going to give, and you will say create table. Then it will create a table like this. So the student table is already created. The columns I have uh, address, name, and USN. Three entities are there. That is what we have displayed. USN, name, and address. Only three entities are required. I will show the data that is present in this table. You can see there are 5 records. 2JI20 CS005. Some name and address is given. 5 records are there. So in that video, I have shown you how to create the database instance, how to create the user, then what permissions should be given to that user, and how to create the table. Once you create the table, how to insert the record into the table. So all those information are given. So if you go to SQL here, SQL window, you can easily, if you say select star from the student, okay, then it will show you all the records. And if you want to do the insert operations, you can do the insert operation. Everything can be done from this particular UI. And also I have the scripts with me that can be used for creating the records in the table. Either you can use the window I showed you to insert the record. You can write the SQL here and you can run it, or I have the script. Okay, you can see the insert queries here. Insert into student, it's a regular SQL you have learned in the DBMS. Same thing, insert into table name. Then in the parentheses, you will give the list of the columns, values. You specify the values here. So you can run it as a one single script, and you can enter all the values at a time. Now we'll go back to the code. So once you have database instance created, user created, then table created, then you can make a connection. Now I have all this information ready. Then I have a one empty array variable created here. How to create a database connection? MySQL I underscore connect. This is the method using which I can make a connection to the SQL database, and that connection object reference is stored in the connection this variable. So this, for this method, I have to give the server name, username, password, and the database instance name. If all are correct, then it will make a connection. So for example here, what you are seeing here, because it made a proper connection, you are seeing the page. If there is any error, if $connect error, then die. So it will make sure that the application fails there itself. Just for your understanding, what I will do is I will give username wrong, and I will refresh. You can see the error. Okay, you will get the error. So application will fail there itself. It will not proceed. Let me correct that error. Then once you have a object here, connection is successful, then you are going to check if there are any connection error. If there are any connection error, then you are going to make sure that it will fail it, and you will display the error. So you are connection failed, and dot connect. This is the connect object arrow the connect error. So connect error will have the actual error, and it will be displayed. If connection is successful, then it will not go into this true block. It will continue with the rest of the code. I will create a query, $SQL query, select start from the student. And how to execute that query? I have the connection object, This is the connection object, arrow query. This is the method, and I will pass the SQL. What is the SQL? Select star from the student. Whatever the result that comes from this query, so it is going to issue this query to the database. Database will run this query. The result set is sent to the dollar result. So in our example, 5 records. Those 5 records are stored in a dollar result. Then we are going to display first as is. Whatever we fetched from the database, we are going to display as is. For that, echo break, then echo center before sorting. This is what you are going to see here. I have corrected the error. So before sorting, that is in the center. Then I'm going to create a table. Then border is equal to 2. So that is the border I'm setting. Then first row tr, I have headers th usn, th name, th address. USN name and address. Already we have talked about the table, so you must be knowing what all these different elements are. First row is closed. Now if result arrow num underscore rows will have the value if excuse me, if number of records that are fetched is greater than 0 or 0, whatever the values of records it has fetched, those value will be stored in this particular attribute. So how to access that attribute? Using the result object arrow num underscore rows. So this will give me, in this particular example, it will get a 5 because 5 records are there, 5 greater than 0. So you are making sure that some records are there. If table is empty, it will return 0. That time 0 greater than 0 are false. Then we have to show that table is empty. At this particular with this example, we have 5 rows, 5 greater than 0. Then I have to display all those 5 rows dynamically. Then I have the while loop, dollar row is equal to dollar result fetch assoc. Fetch underscore assoc method will fetch the first record. So whenever you are fetching, it will fetch the record. That record is available in the dollar row as an associative array. What is an associative array? This fetch underscore assoc, whatever the column name we have for the table, that will be the key, and what actual value is stored, that is a value for that particular key. So it is a map of the USN with actual value, name with actual value, address with actual value. Then I will begin another row. Then inside the TD concatenation dollar row USN. So I am going to fetch the first row. So I will show you in the database. In the database, okay, I have, this is the first record, 2JI CS005 Sanjay. That is the first record. This USN, it will fetch this USN, and that close of the TD, that is the cell is closed, and second cell I have the name, third cell I have the address, and array underscore push. I have one more array. Initially we declare this array. I am pushing the USN number to that. So it will go at the end. In this case, it is the beginning of the array. So it will go as the first array element. This particular USN will go as a one element of this array. Then I am going to move to the next. That will be displayed. The first row will be displayed, and then it will move to the second row. So this will continue as long as there are results are there. Once the results are stopped, it will come out of the loop. That is how we are going to display all the values. Then once we are done, suppose if when it fetch the result, let us say that table is empty, it will result in a 0, 0 greater than 0, false, it will come here. So I will have only one row, TD column span 3, and I'm going to show table is empty. So here I will have only one line here, one row, and span is all the 3 rows. It would say table is empty. This value will be stored in the, this value will be displayed there. Next, this is the sorting logic. Now at the end of this while loop, what I have in array A is all the USNs. Okay, and now we know already in C programming we learned about the selection sort. We are going to do the selection sort. I have an array which values are not sorted. We are going to sort it using the selection sort method. $n count, how many elements are there? 5. The 5 will be stored in n. $b is equal to $a. I'm making a copy of the array, so $b will be exact copy of the $a. Then I'm iterating through all the element, and in this logic, if you remember, what we do is we get the position of the maximum element. Suppose assume that the position that we have now is the maximum element. 0 position is equal to, excuse me, 0. Then we are going to check with the next element, that is I plus 1, and until the end. So that is end is what? N minus 1. And what we are going to check, if the array at this position 0, that value is greater than the next element. If it is true, then I am going to store the position where there is a maximum value. If this condition is true, right? If this condition is true, if position this value is greater than this, then this particular value is a smaller, sorry, this value is a smaller, that number would be stored in the position. So I'm going to check like this. So smallest, wherever is the I have the smallest number, that will be in the position. Okay, and once I complete this, let us say the first value is not the minimum value, then I will have some other different value for position. It will not be as I. If these values are different, then I am going to exchange. At 0th location, I am going to get the a smaller value, and so on. I am going to iterate this through all the elements. At the end of the iteration, I will have the sorted array like this. So minimum value would be on the 0 position, and maximum value would be on the highest position. So at the end of this array, this $a array, $a array will be having the values sorted in a particular fashion. We could have used the sort method. You have already seen the sort method. Why we cannot use the sort method is because in the problem statement they have specifically said use the selection sort. Okay, so we have to use the selection sort. Now we are going to display. We already have the arrays, sorry, USNs in the order. Now we are going to display in the same order. For that, we will create one array. Data array is equal to array. This will create an empty array, and it will be stored in this result. I'm going to get the result again. Okay, I'm going to query the database. SQL is what? Select stars from student table. The 5 records are fetched, and it will be stored in the result. Then I will check whether the result number of rows is greater than 0. If it is true, means there are records, it will come here. $row is equal to result colon fetch. So it is going to fetch the record. Now what I will do is data row, okay, USN is equal to array name. So what I'm going to do here is I'm creating this particular data array with the mapping of the USN. So you can say whatever the value USN value $row USN, I'm fetching that, and I am making an array. Okay, name map to the row name, and address map to the address. So basically what this is doing is I am creating a new associative row where USN is the key and these are the values. So I have this as an array. For this key, I have an array of name and address. So that is what is being done here. I'm creating a new associative array whose key is USN, $row USN, and what I am doing is I am assigning to that the value of another array of what, a name and the actual name. So the array that is getting stored in the USN will have a key as a name and the actual name. For example, here name Akash and address MG Road. Those two will be stored at the location which is mapped by the key this USN CS001. Now, once you have that mapping, then next is just you will compare and you will print the values. This is the second display, this table. You can see after sorting table, table row, same header. Then I will iterate through 0 to n minus 1 for each data error. As this is the new table we created, key and value pair. If key matches the array, if you remember, this key is nothing but the USN, and this array is we created while sorting. It has the value in the order. So A of 0 will have the record which has a least USN number, and for that key is mapped to this key, so that I can get a value from data, this new associative array. I will map the key and I will get the values. So tr row, then td key, whatever the key we have here, and $val name. Okay, why $val name is this particular value is a array itself, and that array is having two keys, name and ADR. So that $val name and $val address, that I am going to display. So that is how I am going to get the going to display the records in a sorted manner. So first I will get the first record, second record, third record, and so on. That is the, so it will iterate through all the key values, and at the end we close the table. And once the operation is done, we have to make sure that we close the database connection by calling the close method. That is the complete code.